We are live. What is up, everybody? And by everybody, I mean hi, Sean.
Hello.
What is the show? It is Couch Time with Donna Vee and Sean.
Yes, it is.
What you got there in your red Solo cup?
I turned 44.
Wednesday, the 13th of August?
Wednesday the 13th, I turned 44. Up until a few months earlier, I have never in my life drank a peach iced tea. And now I'm completely addicted to peach mango iced tea. Basically anything peach mango. I think I might be going through a change.
You mean like you're going to get a vagina?
Like I'm going through menopause. Yeah.
Menopause. So that's not even like a bourbon in there or anything?
My shirt says I drink bourbon, but I'm drinking peach mango iced tea.
Oh my God. Mark the tally's on.
Which I drink by almost a gallon a day.
Really?
It's sugar-free. That's fine.
Mark is on.
Mark is my good friend.
I love him.
I love Mark. He's a good person. He's one of the few people.
What about his wife?
Oh, Lisa's amazing. Mark is one of the people I truly love to make fun of on a daily basis. And I think that you know personally, if I do make fun of you, it means you have a special place in my heart.
I do know that.
If I don't make fun of you, you're in trouble.
It means like you're dead to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much. Yeah, I can't stand your guts if I don't make fun of you.
Exactly. Let me put Mark back up for a second too, because I'm making the words bigger so everybody can see. So Mark's there with his beautiful wife, Lisa. My brother, hey fam, all the way from Texas.
Yes, which I hope he's being safe. I hope he's not going to be one of those bumbleheads who likes to run out in a freaking hurricane and take pictures. I want him to be indoors, underground, with like food and water.
Like a rat? You described a rat.
Well,
underground with food and water.
He has beady eyes, but I don't think he's a rat.
Peter, give us an update. What is going on there with the storm? And Mark said he loves it, which I think is so sweet.
Good.
Yeah, I actually poured myself the last part of hopefully it's not sour Chardonnay because honestly I've had, a life. Actually, this week has been crazy. I left the salon today at 6:56. Didn't hit a red light. Got into my driveway at 7:00. Came up to send the link to Dawn for our 7:00 thing. Realized I unplugged my computer and it was dead. Powered it up. We went on by like 7:11 until 7:45, 7:50. Went on to do Girls Gone Green. We did a cool radio show with Tracy's cute little 11-year-old niece who played. She played, the hell is it called? Annie, Little Orphan Annie.
Okay.
And now I'm here. I ran downstairs because my kid does cook. She made some linguine. And Daria's here, and I poured myself white wine. That's the kind of day it's been.
Listen, white wine is a very important staple in a person's diet. I'm fully aware of that.
It is. It is.
So what's new and exciting since last week?
I'm not saying the name of the venue yet, not because I'm playing games, because I'm waiting until everything's nailed down. But I am planning, which I know I'm speaking to you about, an outdoor comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be in Bloomfield. It is something local. I'm really excited about it because I went out to dinner and the owner approached me and said, I know that you used to do successful shows at Brookdale Tavern. I know that, the owner passed away. And I'd like to ask you if you would consider coming here.
Okay.
I was honored. I was like, that's amazing. So that is something I'm pretty excited about.
And you have not done a show yet since the pandemic, right? I
did one Zoom comedy show, which I felt was not great. Like I didn't think it was great, but it was for a business that did it for their employees. So really no one there was somebody I knew that I could even get honest feedback about, or anyone that knew how I have performed before to say, no, that was good. To me, I felt like I rushed through it because there was no feedback. And I'm glad I did it though, because it was something I'll now learn to pace myself for other stuff.
Or never do again.
Right. But yeah, totally.
Well, I want to prepare you for outdoor comedy.
That is one of the things I'm excited to hear about.
It is fucking different. It is very different. There's so many different variables that are completely the opposite of doing an indoor show. The laughing is one of the main things, because when you're in a regular room doing comedy, you have four walls. So no matter what, if there's laughing, sound is bouncing off the walls, bouncing off the ceiling. When you are doing a show outside, you still hear the laughter. It is not as loud. It is not as pronounced. There's also other factors too. I don't know if it bothers you, but look, it's hot. It's hot out. So you're sweating. Now, I sweat to begin with when I'm on stage because I'm an idiot and I scream like a maniac. But I had a show Saturday. It was a 7:30 show. Host, 2 headliners, and a guest spot. We were ready to go at 7:15 for a 7:30 start. The guest spot was not there yet. He did not show up until 7:40. So the guest spot held up the show. So I made the decision, I made the decision that since we're doing 2 headliners, I will go first. You know why? I want to do my shit and get the hell out of there. As soon as I hit the stage at exactly 8 o'clock, the sky was dark. They put the spotlights on me. Now, these spotlights are probably, 750 degrees apiece. I was drenched from head to toe by 4 minutes. I was sweating so bad. I had denim shorts on, and I felt the denim getting wet.
Well, that's uncomfortable.
It's not comfortable. It's very different. It's a whole other animal. It is not like I'm used to. And unfortunately, for the next, I got both shows this weekend, but I have nothing booked after that. If we continue to do outdoor comedy, it's only another 6 weeks. Because you're not going to convince anybody to spend money on a cover charge to stay outside in October when it could be either 80 degrees or it can be 42 degrees. So we're done. We're done in 6 weeks, no matter what. So unless shit is opening within the next 2 weeks, we have no chance of comedy going on until 2021.
So I just saw, we looked it up, that they're hoping the governor would like to open up indoor restaurants by the 15th or the middle of September. Do I believe it? No. Do I think that it's exactly what's been going on and what they did with the schools, which I think is a sin, what they did to teachers and how they decimated their summers because of waiting, knowing full well that they should have just planned for virtual. From the minute March hit,
I agree.
And the kids graduated in June, there should have been a team put together, somebody, NJEA, whatever, whoever runs the show, should have come up with a virtual package saying, this is what we're going to do. Here's the platform the schools are going to use. Here's an option. I know it sounds easy because I'm not in the school district, but I've raised kids in school enough to know and have had enough conversations with teachers and administrators that come in to get their hair done. Why is it so hard for people to pre-plan? Because all would have happened if they could have gone back live is they would have been like, oh, we're pulling the plug on virtual. We're going back live. To do it the other way, which is what they did, is asinine.
It's called 2 words. It's no balls.
Yeah, nobody has balls at all.
It's what it comes down to. No one has a set of balls. And what they've done, and now I'm not going to go into politics with this episode because I really want to, but I'm not going to do that. I don't live in New York City, right? But I get physically sick seeing that man talk, the mayor. Yeah. I get physically sick seeing our governor talk because they have, first of all, with the governor, he took this whole schooling issue and instead of showing a little bit of leadership and balls, he pushed it off to every single city to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
And city government should not be doing that. They should not be doing that. Should be coming from the top. I have friends in the Clifton school system, okay? They were told the kids are going back 4 days a week and doing virtual for 1. So now you're changing your whole lifestyle. You're changing the way you work. You're changing the way that you have coverage for your kids, knowing that your kids are going back to school for 4 days a week and they're going to be stuck home for one. 4 days later, they said, nope, all virtual now. This should never have gone down to this level. And all they are doing now is completely decimating small businesses.
Yes, they are.
Completely ruining because you know what? Walmart's going to be open. Target's going to be open. You know, all those big box stores are going to be thriving because they always will. But you know what? Mom and pop store on Main Street is done.
Oh.
The mom and pop restaurants are done. Applebee's will be fine. TGI Fridays will be fine.
Fridays on Route 3 is done.
Well, they closed the one here too in my town as well. But I'm saying the generic big box chain places will survive. But great places that people spent hundreds of thousands of dollars going to culinary school to learn how to cook, who've traveled all over the world to try and, you know, enhance their craft, are completely screwed.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute shame because this should have been done weeks and months ago.
First of all, it's disgusting that you have to worry about, but I have a friend that went, I won't go to the mall. I'm not ready for that. I know everybody's got different opinions. My opinion is I'm not ready to go to the mall.
Oh, I go to the mall all the time.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We're all different, right?
Yeah.
But there's a blowout bar in the mall in Garden State Plaza that's filled with people blow drying hair.
That's dangerous. See, that's dangerous. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna look if you are into some weird shit. You know what I mean? Like if you want to go to like, I can't even describe what I'm trying to say. Like if you know something is going to be dangerous and you're voluntarily doing it, you're an idiot.
It's money. It's money because I know I had a conversation with somebody who manages a blowout bar. It's called Dry Bar. And they were going back before we even knew when we were allowed to go back because their corporate is in Texas. Their corporate headquarters is in other states that we're not dealing with what we're dealing with here. And the conversation I had was mind-blowing. They have the ability to pay the fines. That's why they open.
Yeah, it's like that gym down in South Jersey. They decided to keep keep opening after getting summons after summons, and they had a GoFundMe set up for $50,000 to pay for the summonses. I understand the freedom and the liberty and things like that, but you have to understand there's certain places that do need to be handled very carefully, and I think a gym is one of them. Yeah. I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of sweat and, you know, breath and body fluid and just things like that you have to have a legit concern because look, when you go to the gym, what is there? 3 or 4 people working on the staff? They physically can't be going around to every single machine and cleaning it when everybody's done. And you think the honor system's going to work?
No.
The honor system isn't going to work. People don't put a fucking shopping cart back to the middle of the lane in Walmart. They leave it in the spots. There's no honor system. So what are you going to do? Hire 15 people to work in an environment where there could be freaking corona everywhere?
They're not going to go anyway because they're making more on unemployment. That's the other problem that this government has created. Let them. I saw somebody post the other day. Maybe if they paid people that went back to work the $400 or $600, that was brilliant. If you come back part-time and there's a minimum that you have to meet, you should be able to get that money. People that are sitting home without having to qualify, people that are living in their parents' basements and not even paying a rent check when there are families that have to feed their kids that are starving because their family is so large. Listen, who the frig? I understand people having kids. Nobody wants to live on government assistance. But there's some weird thing that's happening right now that there are people that had jobs. They're traveling. They're taking their fucking money and going on vacation. I mean, you're stimulating the economy to some extent, but you know what else you're doing? You're making yourself completely unmarketable for when you go back. Because what's going to happen when after everything crumbles and everybody tries to get a job? Good luck getting a reference. Good luck.
I see both sides of it, though.
I'd like to hear your side.
Well, there's both, because again, there are both sides to it. Because again, I'm in that situation. I paid into the system for 20 years at a job, so I understand. You know, look, I had this conversation before. I could my whole goal was to go into entertainment full time.
Correct.
That's been my goal for a year and a half, and I wanted to do it on my terms. And you know what? Life sucks and life happens, and I didn't get to do it on my terms. I got laid off before all this pandemic happened. 2 weeks before this pandemic happened. Yeah. So yeah, I've been on unemployment for 6 months, and you know what? I got the extension. But you know what? I had to have this realization that, hey, you know what? Yeah, I understand. I pay into the system. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I want to be a professional entertainer, but you know what? I can't.
I know.
I can't right now.
But I'm not talking about you.
No, but I know you're not.
I'm talking about the mom and pop shops that you're talking about that need to employ. Go to restaurants. Take everything out of the equation. I know people in restaurants that can't get their wait staff back. They're open, busting their asses. That's what I'm saying. So that owner of that restaurant who is there 75 hours a week, not going home to their family, putting themselves on the front line, really, to keep their business open, to keep their town open, because there's so many businesses shut down. It looks like a shit show and a ghost town. Now you have, let's just use the person that asked me to do the show. I'm watching this guy run around like a nut. Where's all his staff? Home on unemployment because the $600 was just too much to give up. But now come up with a government plan where this man can employ that staff. And then those people can come back and incentivize the businesses to be able to get people to come back.
I agree with that.
You can more effectively run a business instead of closing it down.
Listen, I have friends who own businesses. I have a friend who owns a restaurant, and a very successful restaurant. And I went there a couple weeks ago, and I asked him, how's it going? And he goes, I can't even tell you. It's amazing. I'm doing amazing. Little bit of outdoor dining, little bit of pickup. Because he built that brand in that area, people still supported it. And that's the thing, too. It's location. You know, not everybody lives in a town where the median income is $90,000 a year. You know, there's towns that are close to us where people are only making $45,000, $50,000 a year as a household. They don't have expendable income. They're not going out to restaurants. They're eating pasta every night.
Yeah. We have a family friend that owns a restaurant called the American Bistro. It's in, it's so confusing. It's like the Nutley Belleville borderline, right? Mm-hmm. American Italian cuisine. Higher end, has been in town, built this restaurant his entire life. We've gone there for Christmas. We've gone there for New Year's. It's like a place that you go in and you know you're going to get quality food. Is it cheap? By no means, absolutely no. But are you getting a nice experience, excellent food, great wait staff, family, like you go there, they remember you. He's got to close down. He has no space for outdoor dining. He is not a pickup to go restaurant. Like if you picked up food to go, which I have because
you don't cook.
Because I don't cook. Thank you. So if I want to do it like a special night for me and the kids, like a birthday, I'm like, I'm going to go get it. You're not walking out with less than 100, 125. Sure. You're tipping the person that put your order together. It's not a pizzeria. You know what I mean?
It's true.
You had to close. Lost one of his parents to COVID. I mean, like what this guy is going through, it blows my mind.
And it's not going to be over anytime soon.
No. Daria just said, I know a doctor that reopened most of his staff refused to come back. He called unemployment and had him taken off. I can't even get through to fucking unemployment.
Yeah,
how about that? I can't even get through. I'll pay somebody $25. Call unemployment for me. Patch me through when you get them. That's the anger that is happening. And I see it every day. I try so hard. Everybody walks in to the salon. Hi, guys. How are you? First of all, you can't even see what I look like. Hi, guys. How are you? It's crazy. You can't see that I'm smiling. You know, it's really challenging. Most people that are coming in, I'm still the first place a lot of people have gone to.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of cracks me up. I'm very happy about it for the success. Trust me. But it's kind of funny. When women say to me, I haven't been anywhere else than here, I'm like, why are you doing your roots? Why are you coming in if you're not going anywhere else? Because it makes you feel good.
Right.
I'm not giving up at all, Daria. But it just makes me sad when I hear people come in that want to give up.
Yeah, and it's very easy to give up. It's very easy to give up, believe me.
Yeah.
Believe me. You can't. And I'm not either. You know, I'm not either. And I'll listen, I February 14th, like I said, very important day in my life. And I was very happy. I said, you know what? Of course you get initial shock. And I said to myself, it's okay. I'm lined up through May. I had every weekend booked through May. And I'm totally fine with it. You know, and you know, it's kind of like swimming with one arm at this point.
Yeah.
Because you're using that one arm just to keep afloat, you know, and I don't know if it's going to be comedy. I don't know if it's going to be podcasting. I don't know if it's going to be writing or acting or directing or producing. I have no idea, because I know for a fact, and I've said this today, what people don't understand is when they say comedy is just going to come back. It's not. Here's what I want you to, and I think you'll understand this, okay? You are a great host, okay? So now on your typical show, you have a host, a feature, and a headliner, okay? You are a great host. This is a trickle-down problem, because what happens is people who are headlining these little clubs or regular clubs or whatever are not people with TV credits. These are people who have been veterans for a long time, who may have a little bit of a following, blah, 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 okay? They're not working either. You know who else isn't working? The huge comics, the Jim Brewers, the Carlos Mencias, all those people. So you know what they're doing? They're going to take the club dates because, hey, you know what? A couple $100 in my pocket is better than nothing. So then what happens to that other headliner? He's like, I'll feature, no problem. He bumped the feature out of the spot. Okay? So that's no, but hey, I won't work too. So the feature's like, well, you know what? Shit, I've hosted for 7 years and I just got bumped to feature. Fucking, I'll host again.
Right.
And features are hosting. So then where are you?
I'm watching in the audience going, hey, this is a pretty good Chardonnay for $2.99.
Right? It's a trickle down thing, and people don't realize. I'm seeing, you saw Brewer performing in a parking lot of a mall.
I know.
This is a guy who plays 4,000 seat theaters like that, sells them out.
Sells them out.
Parking lot of a mall. Don't tell me that somebody who is on from an A to Z, who's a Y level celebrity, is hurting. That don't mean shit. You know why? Because the guy who's got $4.5 million in the bank is playing a parking lot of a mall on a Sunday.
I know.
So you know what this is for entertainment? This is a complete, you're starting all over again.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly how I feel. I'm going to be starting from the bottom up again.
I feel like if the world was an egg, cracked and scrambled, good luck fitting the fucking scrambled egg back in the shell. It's not going to happen. There's not going to be room for everybody.
No.
The people that are going to stick around are going to be out there and doing something. I will tell you, though, the minute, and we've talked about this, and you're like, maybe you won't go back. I don't know. But the minute somebody turned to me when I was out to dinner, minding my business, said, hey, you did comedy at Brookdale Tavern. You used to do really well at the room. You want my room? I was like this. Somebody stop me. I was like,
yeah, of course it makes you feel.
I got excited. I was like,
well, because you know why? Because there was this much of normalcy.
Yes.
That much.
And I went to look at the area that we'd be performing. In my mind, I'm setting up my sound. I'm like, Today going through new material, like I have not thought about new material in months.
I read
Haven't
a
thought
lot.
funny, didn't care.
Yeah, I have to. I have to write it because I have a plan. Even though I don't have a way to execute the plan, I still have a plan.
Exactly.
You know, so my plan is when things open up in the I guess winter, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to do it this May, and I can't do it this May because May was shot in the ass. So my plan is to just rent a theater, not a huge 4,000 seat theater. I'm talking about a small theater.
I have a great theater.
And I am not charging one person admission. I am renting it. All you got to do is show up there. And what I'm doing is I am recording an hour DVD.
Amazing.
And then what I'm doing right now is I am writing a new hour. Because the minute I hit record on that DVD, I am never saying those jokes ever again. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. So I'm writing a new hour. And as soon as that gets put out, forget about it. Then I can work on the next DVD. I have the plan.
I love it.
It's just getting it out.
I know. That's the hardest part. But if you ever watch Manifesting Monday, you know you can't plant a pumpkin seed and then stomp on the ground and it shows up. You have to wait. And we're in the waiting period. And it's painful and it's uncomfortable and it's exhausting.
Oh, we are in a waiting period, but there's also waiting periods you can control.
Of course. Yogi.
Last year, we can control this. Last year, at this time, if I said, you know what, I have the hour, I'm ready to go, I'm going to wait until February. Because then what I'll do is I'll book this many dates, do this many shows, get it ready to go. That's a plan that you can do. We can't do shit. We can't do shit. All we can do is keep our head above water until these people who have no idea how to run anything, get their heads out of their asses and decide to try to make things a little normal, not for the sake of being normal, just for the sake of people's sheer survival.
Right. Yeah. Well, here we go. Like Frobros, outdoor classrooms are forgotten. And I think that's great. You could perform in an outdoor classroom in Nutley and Bloomfield, I believe. I mean, there are places, and I understand the outdoor part is tough because it's weather dependent. And that is a challenge. But I do think that it's almost like people are watching the weather to book outdoor dining. You would have to have a show. Like I think about people, and you could do a one-man show easily. You could do a one-man show without a problem. Listen, I'm not saying I could do a one-woman show. I probably certainly could. Who the fuck knows what the content would be? But there's different ways of looking at it. It might not be the standard, regular type of comedy. And you're right. Think outside the box. Mike, I totally agree with that. Totally try to do it. Yogi, calm down.
You can think outside the box, but here's the problem. You also want to have a standard, too. You don't want to put out crap content either. I can record a DVD tomorrow. I can go down to the park, and I can hire 20 of my friends to sit in the park and hold a 3-camera recorder. I don't want to do that because my name's attached to it. Right. And again, this is all weather dependent. I have a gig Saturday in Thompson, Connecticut. Do you have any idea where Thompson, Connecticut?
Never heard of it.
Do you know what the shape of Connecticut looks like? It's a big rectangle. Okay.
It's probably on the complete opposite end. It's
in the far upper right-hand corner of Connecticut where it borders Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut.
Jesus
Christ. I have to do an hour clean, squeaky clean on Saturday. It's 3.25 hours from my house. So am I driving back and forth? No, that's a long drive. Is there a hotel anywhere 40 minutes from this place? No. So I'm not. So I have to book a hotel, which cuts out of my profits. Not a big deal. I've done it before. Now, there's a 90% chance of rain on Saturday. So now I have to get into the mindset of, shit, now I got to worry about working clean, not offending the booker who's been very, very good to me, not saying any kind of curse words, because there's going to be little kids at this show.
Why?
Because it's a fundraiser for children. So they're bringing children. Okay. Not a problem. This guy's giving me a lot of work. I respect the guy. I like him a lot. I'm going to do whatever the guy asked me to do. Okay. But look at the variables now. So now I got to worry about working clean. I got to drive over 3 hours to get there. I don't know if it's going to rain, right? I book a hotel room. Look, I'm not working. I'm not even a working comic right now. So that's coming right out of the top.
They won't put you up for the night anywhere.
Right. He doesn't do that, which is fine. Everybody's individual.
Okay. I don't. What about if you did a Airbnb?
Here's the thing. If I do an Airbnb, I have to go into Massachusetts. I have to go further away. That's how far into the woods I'm going.
Okay.
Okay. So I have to worry about that. And so I canceled my hotel room. I canceled it just because I didn't want to worry about losing money in case it gets postponed. These are variables I don't want to deal with. I want to go to a place that has 4 walls, that has
air conditioning.
There's a little spotlight. I don't even give a shit if there's air conditioning in these rooms anymore. As long as I'm not outside baking, I don't care. 4 walls, a microphone, a spotlight, do my shit, give me my check, I'm going home. I'm so tired of all these other variables.
Yeah.
We live a very simple life as comedians.
Sure.
Very simple. It's a very simple process. You get the gig, you show up, you do good, you get paid, you go home. No, I got to worry about, I'm going to be outdoors. What am I going to get, a fucking tick and get Lyme disease on top of this freaking...
Comedian Sean Morton is in the hospital tonight. Why? No, he was not in a car wreck. No, a deer did not hit him. He was on stage, and at the last part of his set, we all saw it in slow motion. Bob, can you play that reel for me? Here it goes. Look, slow it down, slow it down. This is the moment the tick entered his body.
Mm-hmm. Saturday night, I'm on stage. You know what I have to deal with? Seagulls. Seagulls squawking. Normally, it's a drunk bachelorette. Right?
At least them you can do crowd work with.
Them I can verbally berate and make them hate their lives. You know what I mean? What am I going to do with a seagull? Oh, I hate it.
I'm going to reach out to Mike later on. My friend Mike Probros is putting amazing ideas, and I totally am going to reach out to you. Don't think I'm ignoring you, Mike. It's hard to write with I'm really not a good typist. Whatever. So I don't do that. But I know. But I know that people are wanting to get out. I know that people, but see, here's the thing. I am a masker. I'm not an anti-masker. So one of the things that's freaky for me is it was crazy enough to have to go back to work in a building and touching people physically. And we all have masks on. I have a mask and a shield. To go into a restaurant outdoors and have, we all know, people sitting all around. You're supposed to be doing the social distancing. I'm sure that this place will. But you have people that don't believe in it. It's one thing to accidentally stumble into political humor by accident. Just the sheer part of anything you say now. There's a difference between a heckler and people that have been locked in their homes without contact with other humans, looking. There's always that one guy in the back, and he's like, I could do this. Give me the mic. I'll do 5 minutes for you. Like, don't touch my mic.
You're seeing people's real sides. And look, I have no problem with anyone who is afraid of getting sick, who is pro-mask, whatever. Like, it's a very
Joanne Filan.
What's that?
Joanne Filan.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with her during this. Okay,
yeah.
She came up. She gave me the air bump. Yeah. Brought her own microphone. Wore her bandana until she went on stage. Killed it. As soon as she got done, took her mic, put her bandana.
She's hilarious.
She's great. I have no problem with that. And even with hanging out with friends, okay, there's certain friends who will just say, Are we hugging? I'm like, yes, we're hugging. And then you bring them in, and it's the best hug you're ever going to have. And then there's friends that are just like, they walk in and they go, do the air kisses. Totally fine. I'm fine with all of it. I'm fine with all of it. When it comes to just having the common sense to realize that you don't know how you're going to get this, or if you're going to get this, or when you're going to get this. Wear your fucking mask.
Exactly.
Wear it when you're in with people. If there's a certain people, like I have a certain couple friends who I know haven't got it. They don't go getting exposed to other places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we hang out. It's very simple. We'll hang out. But I'm going away in 2 weeks. One set of friends was like, I can't go because I work with kids. Can't take a chance. Can't take a chance getting it. I don't care if I get it. Can't take a chance in good conscience giving it to these kids.
Yeah.
No problem. I get it. It's just a matter of basic level human respect. And that's all it comes down to.
Well, we were already borderline not having that prior to this. Let's not joke, because I'm in an industry where I can speak for myself and how many people come in, and I've talked about this before too. They're like, oh, I have a hair appointment and I may or may not have strep, so just don't kiss me hello.
People are ridiculous. People don't understand how stupid they sound and how self-centered and egotistical they really are. And you're starting to see a lot more.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's exhausting.
And you're right. It's physically exhausting, which is why, if I go out, I'm doing the simplest things. You know what I mean? I'm doing the simplest things, but like there's people who are going to fucking Sturgis, South Dakota, 250,000 people. It's the biggest bike rally in the country. Okay. It's still brought out 250,000 people. They're not all from South Dakota. They're from all over the country. And you know what? You got one hick drinking a Budweiser who has corona, and he coughs all over everybody, and they start coughing. Guess what? It spikes again.
Oh my God. Can we just say what is going on with these? And Mike, I miss hugs too. What is going on with these college parties? Did you know that these kids, there is a pot of money, and whoever gets COVID first or diagnosed with it after the party wins the pot of money?
Because, Donna, here's what it is. You are a couple years older than me, and I'm not going to mention your age. I'm 44.
48, and I'm fine with it.
Okay, you're 48, I'm 44. Anybody who is 5 to 6 years younger than us or me, they're retarded. And I will say the word, and I don't give a shit. They're retarded. They don't have any common sense in the least bit. I am fearful. I am absolutely fearful for this generation. Thank God the 2 kids that you raised are good, sensible kids. Because let me tell you something. There's assholes who are the same age as them who are still eating Tide Pods.
Mike says he has 3 kids in college, and he's shitting his pants about it.
He should be. You know why? Because it may not be their kid. It may not be Mike's kid. Mike's 3 kids could be the most grounded, knowledgeable, respectful, have common sense. There are exceptions to the rule, okay? But most kids are stupid. They are stupid people, and they don't understand consequences. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I wanted to go see my aunt who was 92 years old down in Tom's River, okay? I wanted to see her, but I called her kids to make sure it was okay to see her. Because you know what? I would hate to be asymptomatic and have a woman who outlived her sister, her brother, her husband, who raised 3 kids and about 26 grandchildren. Okay. I would never be able to live with myself if I knew that I was the reason why I got her sick and she died because of that. It's just about common sense, and people just don't have it anymore. And it's just really, really spewing out of people now.
Yeah.
I hate it. I try and be upbeat. I think you know that. You try and be upbeat as well. And it's to the point where it's like it's hard to be upbeat.
What pains me about it is I know that I am upbeat. I know I am. And that I know for me that I could still be brought down to a level. I was talking about it today in work, and I said, I never ever felt so angry in my life and I've gone through divorce, by someone I didn't know until I see somebody walking around with their mask under their nose. I've never felt so angry than when I see people who literally, I mean, I know I have a mask somewhere over here, but they walk around, and I don't even know where it is right now because, oh, here it is.
This is my favorite. You ready?
Oh my God, that's
Strap.
the Amish mask wearer. That's what I call it.
This one bothers me.
Like,
one lip.
Yeah. And they're like,
That's
hey, can I have a quarter pound of cheese at the deli?
Yeah.
And then they're like this, and they're touching it, and it's like this, but this drives me crazy. When they're talking to get their hair done, they have the cloth mask on, and it's like this, and I'm like, I step back. I'm like, can you pull it up over your nose? Ugh, yeah. Like, oh yeah. Like, you're in my business.
Yeah, people don't understand they're not the exception to the rule.
Or like, yeah, I call it right, Daria. I call it a mask hole. Hashtag don't be a mask hole.
I saw somebody else with the hashtag mask hole today, by the way, just so you know.
And I looked it up to see if I could, what do you call it? I'm waiting for people to go to temple like this, actually. This is going to be the new.
What are you, churning butter?
It does look like I'm churning butter. Either that or it kind of looks like you could take a yarmulke and a mask and make it like together.
Came off the Mayflower.
I know. But whatever. People are annoying. But this is fun too.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, this is like.
That's how Evander Holyfield wears his.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But you can only do it on the one side because he only has one ear, right?
Wow, nothing gets past you, Donna. Oh.
Whatever. I didn't know. All right. Jeez. Sean, I'm going to put this here because you're making me cry. 50 Shades of Masks. That's what it's going to be. Ugh. Oh, God. It's terrible, but whatever.
So what's your parting thought?
My parting thought is that I still wake up every day grateful. I know it sounds disgusting and Pollyanna. People are puking in their mouth, but my favorite part of the day is story time.
Yeah, I get it.
It's story time because I've gotten so many messages. Today, I had somebody write to me, I am going to make you a part of my child's pre-K. To me, if I can help somebody out with that, awesome. I don't know. You know, it's funny because I'll be transparent. I'll be open. I'll be vulnerable. You know, you say you want to be a professional entertainer. You want to just do nothing more than go out and do comedy live. And that's what you want to do. And that's amazing. I would love it if I could do inspirational talks for kids. Like, literally go out and do that.
Because that's what happened with this whole thing. You found something that brought you joy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's a great thing. Look, it's a great thing. And, you know, some people may look at you and be like, what is this board doing? But you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. And, you know, I don't give a shit about that. You know, you're not harming anybody. You're doing something good for people. And look, even if it's one kid, that you're affecting in a good way, you don't know what that kid is going to be in life. You can change the whole trajectory of a kid just by having that extra needed attention at 10 o'clock.
Exactly. And so, really,
who gives a shit what people think?
What'd you say?
Who gives a shit what people think?
Well, I don't care. I get like the comments, and because I'm on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope, I don't even go on Twitch anymore. I feel like, excuse me for saying it, but those are like the crackheads of like any kind of, the stuff that was being said, people were putting like pictures of penises as their profile picture. And I'm like, it's a kid's show. You're an asshole. Like, what is wrong with you, pedophile? You're not going to infect what's going on here. But what's really awesome is I do think about that kid because I was raised by a single mom. Sure. I was raised by a single mom who I was also raised by my grandparents. And I would be the kid that really shouldn't go to school because I could bring something home and bring it to my grandparents. I was the kid that would go back and forth between my mother and my father. And maybe my dad would say, I don't know if I want you coming to my house because I don't go out anywhere. Like, people don't think of the dynamics that are going on in the homes beyond beyond their own nose. And I had a conversation today with a client. And I said, think about, and I've talked about this with you before, parents that are going through a divorce. That
it's a very true statement.
When the kids could go to school, the parents could beat the shit out of each other in private. There's no privacy for parents. I'm a single parent of grown children. And if I wanted to date right now and have a conversation on the phone, I have to go upstairs, close the door, close that door, be like, you know what I mean? It feels weird because I want to talk to somebody. And now imagine you're having an argument over the fact that, what do you mean you lost your job? I can't do this on my own. What do you mean you're drinking? How could you not bring a paycheck home and you're going to buy alcohol? You have that. You have the kid that's watching a mother get beat to death. And she doesn't have a teacher to report it to anymore. Like, we've taken with this whole situation, people, the SOS signals, it's like it's a cloud-covered sky, and you can't see the signals anymore. And everybody's fucking worried about, I can't go out. I can't go to a club. I'm like, you narcissistic fucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not even thinking about these little kids.
Yeah.
It's disgusting to me. I have no patience for it. And if another person calls me, you're really not blow drying, go somewhere else. But so that's why I do story time. Because if there's a kid that needs to hear the message, to be your own hero, to listen to your inner voice, to talk to a goddamn stuffed bear when you have nobody else, so be it. I don't really care who comes on. People have said to me, what do you want, crack? What are you, high? The stupid shit that people say to me in the morning that I don't acknowledge is worse than any heckler in a club. You know why it's worse? Because if I'm in a club, I get to use my favorite line. You know my line? Sir, make sure after the show, take a picture with me. And the guy usually puffs up and his Viagra falls out of his pocket. And that's when I have fun and say to him, I have a special file in my phone for people that do this. It's marked dick pics. Now shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that on a kid's show.
No, you can't.
Because it's about the kids. It's not about me. It's not about the assholes. It's about saying to these kids, you're going to be okay.
And when people don't realize, people should realize, but they don't realize, is that kids remember everything.
Everything.
When you can be 2 years old and 3 years old and still have memories that affect you later on in life. And kids that are growing up in this pandemic right now, all we're doing is creating for 15 years from now is the stocks in Lexapro and Zoloft are going to be through the roof because all we're doing is raising a generation of anxiety, fearful ridden children.
Totally.
And it's a shame because there's enough horrible shit out in the world for them to experience in order to make them that way.
Yeah.
Now they're getting all their parents' anxiety from being home 24/7 all the time. I understand we got to be safe, but the whole thing with getting back to the whole thing we started with schools, they had months.
I'm infuriated by it.
Months to figure this out. And I watched this only way I can describe this mongoloid from New York City saying, hey, you know what? We're going to start in 2 weeks, but if things aren't great, hey, we can do school on the sidewalks. Have you walked on the sidewalk in New York City?
Yeah, it's filled with shit and piss.
Yeah, it's great. Let's have little 7-year-old Johnny trying to figure out his algebra tables while a homeless guy is taking a shit in front of a Buick. That's a great thing. Everything's been mishandled. We can all agree about that. We've all been affected in some way by this mishandling. And yeah, again, going back to being the positive thing, look, I'm positive. But you know what? I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but there's days where you realize it's a light, and there's days where you realize it's a fucking train coming at you.
Oh, of course. Listen, Courtney's going to school from home, and she is studying psychology. I tell her every chance I get, take notes. I don't journal, but you should. Because what's going to happen is kids that are 5, by the time you get into your business, you're 21, call it 5 years from now. If you're going to go into doing child psychology, that 10-year-old is going to be your client, your patient. If it's a 10-year-old kid and you're going to deal with young adolescents, that 20-year-old is going to be your patient. If the person's 20 and in 10 years, you're going to treat your peer who's the same age as you, they're going to be your patient, your client. And you know what? Everybody is going to be suffering from the same PTSD, and no one has held a gun, seen wartime. This is the most fucked up sense of PTSD that's coming from individual places. It's not like you're sent off to Iraq. Iraq is in people's living room right now. Maybe not the bloodshed, but people that are like, oh, the crime rate, this is before all this other shit going on. Crime rate's down. I don't hear about anybody dying. I don't hear about suicide. Yeah, wait till the warm weather comes and you smell it.
Yep.
We're totally hiding out right now. Totally hiding out. Wait till you realize, oh, wait, we're all coming out of the apartments, coming out of the houses. Where's Bob? Where's Mary? I don't know where they are. I didn't think anything of it when we were all socially distancing and quarantining. But where are they? Did anybody check to see if the fucking cat ate their face? Because that's part of the problem. So many people are underneath like this level of, I don't know where anybody is, but I'm in my house. Check on somebody. You've been saying that all along. Check on somebody.
Yeah.
If you see somebody on your block that's old coming outside, say hello. Like, never mind the people on your phone. I know that that's your thing. Agree with you.
No, it's anywhere. You know, it's anywhere,
Hello.
and it's the truth. You know, and you realize what people are made of.
And it's not marzipan.
No, you know, and you know, I have friends who are going through some really heavy shit right now. I made sure I called them every day when I found out about it. You know, every day, and this is, you know, a very, very close friend of mine, and you can hear in the voice that it's appreciated. You know, it takes the same amount of energy to be a good person than it does to be a shit person.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, if I didn't have to do social media for what I do, I would be completely off of this shit. I'd be off the grid. I've made enough friends. I have enough good friends in my life that I know they'll be there forever. I don't need to make any new ones. I'm good. It's so much negativity out there that people don't realize it's so much easier to be positive. It really is.
I know. Mike says he's a healthcare worker with PTSD and the ripple effect is coming.
Mm-hmm. And I feel horrible for these people. I have nurse friends who are working 12, 14-hour shifts in the middle of COVID hospitals, you know, and, you know, they're still holding it together. But you know what? What happens come Christmas time?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel bad for my friends that are going through that. Because you know what? I couldn't do it.
I was
Give them credit.
I was talking to a client the other day. His fiance is a nurse. And he said, you know what the saddest thing is? The number of COVID cases are down in the hospitals. But there are still people that remain there because they are on life support. Because their families want to see them before they die. And they are keeping them on life support so that they can see them, or with hopes that they could see them.
Amazing.
So maybe it's a wife and her husband's her only family member. So they're not saying goodbye. That is heartbreaking.
I agree.
My mother says there's so many missing adults every week. She works for Bluefield PD. Missing adults. You know, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, if they're short adults, they don't really count. So they don't have to worry about that. You just got to check the driver's license, check the height requirements.
On an up note, did you see the video with Vinny's tattoo?
Yes, I did. Very proud.
I took him out to Shotzi's, plugging Fiona. She is amazing. She is amazing.
I've seen her work. Actually, I'm friends with her on Facebook. I've seen her work.
She's amazing.
Very good.
And I've had a bunch of tattoos, and I will say that she redid a piece on my leg that I've had for 20 years. It looks better than I've ever could have imagined. She's so good with, like, she's very gentle, but effective, obviously. She's the sweetest. She's a single mom. I support her all the time. An amazing artist, not just tattoo artist. And I brought Vinny there, and he is so cute. I will say this. He said to me, call me up now that my mom knows. I don't want to tell mommy. I want to surprise her. I said, what do you want to do? I want to get a tattoo. Okay, Vin, I don't think tattoo places are open yet, but I'll keep an eye open and ear, whatever. Book this thing with Theoni. He is so adorable. He said to her, I'd like the Roadrunner. I'd like to say beep, beep, your ass. But if you get in trouble, I don't want you to get in trouble for putting that language on me.
That's fine.
How cute is that?
Yeah,
she looked at him and she goes, I may have done things a little darker than beep, beep, your ass. I may have tattooed a few things worse than that.
See, he could have gotten like the word Donna tattooed on the bottom of his foot. So whenever he stomped down, but that would be affecting you as well. So that's not really
true. Oh, God. I know. It's like almost an hour.
Yes.
But
we did it.
We did it. Anybody have any last minute questions?
Yeah,
no?
One question. Yeah, exactly. Well, this was fun.
This was a lot of fun.
Hopefully next week we're not as angry.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Kidding. I mean, I don't even know if we're angry or we're passionate. And that's the difference.
I think it's both. I think we're upset. I think we're annoyed. I think we're frustrated. I think we're excited. I think we're anxious. I think we're passionate. I think it's a whole lot of emotions that flip flop within seconds of each other. So it's understandable. It's really understandable at this point.
It is true. It's like shaking up a bottle of soda. You don't want to open the cap too fast. You got to be like, psst, psst, psst. That's what we are.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then somebody opened it up and threw a freaking Mentos in the middle of the freaking soda bottle.
Hey, it's better than throwing a Mentos to a seagull.
That's true too.
Because that shit would make them explode.
And did you see the guy who shot the seagull because he swooped down and stole his piece of pizza?
No.
Yes. That's what we're leaving on. A guy on the boardwalk was eating a piece of pizza. A seagull came, flew by, took it. The guy pulled out his pistol and shot the seagull. How good was that pizza?
I shot the seagull.
Please don't sing.
But
you did not shoot the pelican?
Yes.
Okay. All right. On that note.
All right, guys. On that note, I am Donna Vee. That's Sean Morton right there, over there. What can you just plug your other stuff that you have going on? Talk about.
Yes. So we have Who's Your Band, which is my podcast with Jeff Paul. We just interviewed the guitar player from Volbeat last week, which is a very big get. We have Jim Florentine on this week. My other podcast is Mount Rushmore Radio, which I deal with my friend Anthony LaSala. We talk about our four favorite things in a specific topic. Couch Time with Donna Vee and Sean is my third podcast. And what is today? August 28th. I think September 23rd, I'm going to be debuting my new one, which is going to be me solo.
Oh, really?
Yes. The Sean Morton Show. Very simple.
Really?
Very simple. Yes.
Is it going to be like an extension of what you were doing during COVID?
It's going to be me interviewing people.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, me interviewing people. And, you'll be on, but it's going to be very different. It's not going to be
banter. It's you.
Banter. I'm going to interview people.
Okay.
And, it's going to be superficial and it's going to be deep, depending on what it is. So, yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, you can catch me tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on Storytime with Donna Vee. We will be talking about the letter D tomorrow. Oh, my mom gave me this for Mother's Day. And no, it's not real, so please don't break into my house. But it's real sweet because my mom gave it to me. And we have matching ones. So just leave it to me when you pass, Mom, and then I'll finally have double D's. But then you have so story time with Donna Vee at 10 a.m. to 11. You can go to Donna Vee Comedy on YouTube, and you'll see all the stuff that I did when I was wild and crazy during quarantine, drinking bourbon and stuff, playing bingo. And I might bring a game show back once in a while, but I'd like to maybe have a little bit of a life. Because if I can go back to outdoor comedy, laters, I'll be there. And I will be making that announcement because the guy is really cool and flexible. And you know, Sean, you know I'm going to want you. You know.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. So we'll figure it out. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I'm excited.
Sounds good.
All right. Love you guys. Have
Later.
a great night. Be safe. Wear your masks. Don't be a hashtag maskhole. Thanks so much. Good night.